Hello, Science Alliance. Hello, I am Lara. This is Lit of Science. I'm actually trained to teach science, physics actually, to secondary school level, but I've got a third degree. So we're doing some Shakespeare. Love it. And we're going to do two of my all-time favourite science activities today, actually. It's our last lesson on the Tempest. But you don't have to have seen the other lessons to have seen this lesson. We've done 2 lessons already about the themes of Shakespeare's last play that he ever wrote, The Tempest. But this one is all about, really, a character that we've never met before, so everyone's on the same page. And then we're going to look at how Shakespeare wraps up the play as well. So I asked you just some super light, easy questions to start with. What's stuff made of? What are humans made of? Particles, electricity, waves, magnets. What are dreams made of? Particles, electricity, waves, magnets. You can add some other ideas if you like. And what is light made of? So we'll have a little ponder that at the end of the lesson, all right? But first of all, we'll start our activity while I give you a little recap of what's happened so far. So if you've got some string and you've got a metal spoon, that's all you need. For one of my favourite activities, what you need to do is just tie the bit of string around the spoon so that the spoon hangs off the string. A lot of you have done this with me already in previous lessons. But I can't do it too many times. It's awesome. And if you're doing this for the first time with me, oh my goodness, that is so exciting for me. So that's what you need. Just while I'm recapping you on what we've heard about so far, you just need a spoon on a string. If you've done this already and you know the play a bit, you could be thinking, wow, what does this have to do with the Tempest? Oh, I've got a new coffee spot. That's amazing. Right. So action takes place on an island. We've got this magical old bloke called Prospero who lives on the island with Miranda, his daughter. We saw a beautiful painting of Miranda last week, so I'm going to use that. They're on this island with a kind of magical spirit of the island called Ariel. Ariel isn't a human, isn't a man or a woman, and really only Prospero can see Ariel. And Ariel has to do whatever Prospero says. Ariel is basically sort of been enslaved by Prospero, and Ariel has caused this terrible storm, a tempest, if you will. And we've seen all these people being chucked into the sea. The bosun is in charge of the deck, Alonso, the king, Antonio, who is Prospero's brother, Gonzalo, this nice old bloke, Sebastian, the king's little brother, and Ferdinand as well, who is the king's son, Alonso's son. So they've all been dunked in the sea. There's been this terrible confused noise. Mercy on us, we split, farewell, my wife and children. And Ariel has popped them all in different bits of the island. So all the kind of rich royal people who are old are on one bit of the island, and Alonso's really upset because he thinks his son is dead, and his son is on the other side of the island, really upset because he thinks his dad is dead, and Prospero's in the middle like, haha, nice one, Ariel. These guys kicked me out of my dukedom. So we hear quite early on in the play that Alonso and Antonio are Sebastian's awful as well. These are kind of the bad guys. And the reason that Prospero and Miranda are on this island is because they kicked them out of their dukedom and sent them away in a boat. But Gonzalo sort of helped them out. So they're alive, but they're on this island, and it's all come together for Prospero. He's got his enemies in his hands, and he's going to punish them horribly before it all ends well later. But what we haven't looked at is what happens after Prospero's told his story to Miranda. He says, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer. So we'll go and visit Caliban, who is being forced to work for us, who never says a nice thing to us. And Miranda says, "'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on." So he's a villain, I don't like to see his face. Prospero says, "But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serve in offices that do profit us." So in other words, yeah, but come on, he does all the stuff that we don't want to do. Like, what are we going to do, fetch our own wood on this island? No, offices is sort of jobs. So come on, we can't avoid him. He makes our fires, fetches our wood, he does all the jobs that are good for us. And then he shouts for Caliban, "What ho, slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak." And we get this voice from off stage. Caliban says, "There's wood enough within." So he thinks he's just been ordered around, being told what to do again. And he's saying, "You've got enough wood, leave me alone." And Prospero, feels like an overreaction to me, says, "Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth." So in other words, he's saying your dad is the devil himself, and your mother was this dam is the mother. So your mother was wicked and your dad's the devil. Come here. And then Caliban comes on stage. What fantastic way of building up the entrance of a character. So having a look at all that, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, never yields his kind answer. 'Tis a villain I do not love to look on. What ho, earth, speak, poisonous slave. What are you expecting Caliban to be like, please? Some of you will have an idea of this because you might have read the play or seen the play. But just from what we get here, before he comes on stage, are you thinking, we've looked at how Shakespeare can use poetry for his characters, or we can have them just talking. So sometimes they speak in this rhythm and sometimes they just talk. Do you think Caliban's going to be speaking in sort of poetic verse, or do you think he's just going to be talking in plain prose? Are you thinking he's going to be the kind of person that appreciates nature? I put yes, no, or a little bit. Do you think he's a careful person or a careless person? I mean, you maybe don't know. We'll talk about that more later. And how do you think the audience is going to perceive him? Do you think we're going to laugh at him? Do you think we're going to find him scary? Both? Neither? How are you feeling just before he comes on stage? And then, you know, because life isn't all about multiple choice tick boxes, any other ideas? You probably do have other ideas. What are you expecting from the character of Caliban based on this? Quite a lot of people in the Facebook comments on this lesson yesterday saying they'd be expecting him to speak in prose. I think I would agree with that. I mean, he's called Thou Earth, and generally speaking, Shakespeare's kind of richer, posher, more important characters speak in poetry, and the comedy, like clown or the lower class characters speak in prose. So I think I would agree with that. I think most people were saying a bit for nature. I'm going to be super annoying. There's no right or wrong answer, right? Because it's English, it's not science, so it's just whatever you think, guys. I'm not going to actually answer these questions yet. And yeah, I think probably most people are saying careless, but again, you will have your own ideas. Should we just move on? Let's move on. Let's do the activity. Let's look at how Caliban actually comes on stage, what he says, and then we'll do the activity. He comes on and says, "As wicked dew as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye and blister you all over." A southwest was a terrible wind. So it's just launched straight in with a load of horrible insults. And Prospero says, "For this be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up." This is not a healthy relationship, is it? This is not, in teacher speak, it's not good behaviour management. There's a lot of conflict here. If you've been to the previous lessons, we have talked quite a lot about the themes of the Tempest. Seeing any themes here? If you haven't been to previous lessons, you'll just have to look at this bit, because the themes are all here, actually, that we've talked about in just this little exchange. Got anything to say about this? I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to take that in before we briefly go through it and get to the string and spoon activity. I didn't point this out yesterday, but have you noticed that Caliban has straight away got a rhythm? "As wicked dew as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unholy fen." It's iambic pentameter, isn't it, that we've talked about? "Drop on you both a southwest blow on ye." Oh, already our expectations are maybe being challenged. There's definitely a power struggle, isn't there? There's an enormous power struggle here between the two of them, just absolutely railing at each other. We've got loads of references to nature here. We've been talking a lot about nature, the sort of power of humans to control nature, or can they? So straight away, we get this idea that even though we've seen Prospero control Ariel, the spirit on the island, and he's controlled the storm and he's got his enemies in the palm of his hands, Prospero isn't totally in control of everything on this island. We feel like he hasn't quite got a grip on Caliban. And that comes into this idea of of kind of the struggle between maybe nature and humans. There's an awful lot of nature in Caliban's language here, isn't there? The raven's feather, wicked dew, kind of water that falls onto plants, southwest wind. He's using all the natural images that he knows to curse. If you mention magic, yes, definitely loads of magic. So Prospero is saying, because you've insulted me, I'm going to be horrible to you tonight. I'm going to give you these magical cramps and give you a stitch. Nasty stuff. And I've put sort of nature versus civilization. We'll talk about this a lot more. We've seen this on the ship as well, right? The king being told, would you please just go down to the bottom of the ship and behave yourself, because this storm doesn't care that you're a king. We're all going to die unless you sort yourself out. And again, we've got, this kind of, this struggle. Right, but later in the play, let's do the activity. Some of the other characters are scared, so Caliban meets some other characters from the ship, some members of the royal party, and they hear some music, and they get really freaked out. And we've seen Ferdinand, the king's son, hear some music on the island, and get a little bit freaked out as well. But this is Caliban's incredibly famous response to music on the island, to the characters being scared. Be not afeard, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I had waked after a long sleep will make me dream again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that, when I waked, I cried to dream again. Pwah! Be not afeard, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. You're not necessarily expecting someone with his character's introduction to say things like sounds and sweet airs, are you? He's capable of feeling delight from natural music on the island. Right, let's get to this bit. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears. Let's make that happen. Get your spoon on a string. So what I want you to do, first of all, is just whack the string against something, whack the spoon against something and see what happens. Getting quite a nice noise, aren't we? Do you think that sounds like 1,000 twangling instruments? You might be feeling that you might be sort of feeling like that's quite a pleasant noise. Do you feel like you're truly connected with the music of the spoon? Do you? Have you truly connected with it? Come on, let's close our eyes. Give one more twang. Truly connect with the music of the spoon. Yeah? Well now, oh God, if you're doing it for the first time, I'm so jealous of you. You've got to put the string over the tips of your fingers and put the string in your ears, and then do it again. Do it quite gently, because you'll be amazed. Do it quite gently, but do it. You ready? So put the string over your fingers, put your fingers in your ears, and then gently hit the spoon. You can't hear me, can you? Gently hit the spoon against something else now. Oh. It never gets old. Did you see me literally just knock over half my shelf then? Oh, all the Brian Coxes. Right, you go over there. It's 1,000 twangling instruments, right? I find it hard to believe that Shakespeare hadn't actually done that activity before he wrote this bit of the play. Come on! 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about my ears. Caliban is much more comfortable on the island than most of the other characters. I think that it's fair to say. He's hearing things that the other characters don't hear. He just seems to be appreciating things on a different level to the other characters. I'm a physics teacher, so I should very quickly explain how that works. What sound is just particles vibrating into each other. So when you hear a sound, it's usually travelling through air to get to your ear. So you hear a sound, the spoon or whatever it is makes the air particles around it vibrate, and then those air particles knock into each other like dominoes and get to your ear and make your eardrum vibrate, and then your brain turns those vibrations into sounds which you can hear, which is amazing. But how it works with the string is the particles in the solid string are much closer together than in the air, so the sound travels much more efficiently straight up the string and into your ear, because also air carries the sound in all different directions, right? But with the string, it's pretty much just going straight up to the string. So you're kind of, I feel like you can appreciate it on a deeper level, right? You're closer to it. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good. Right, let's get back to Caliban. He's very, I think it's fair to say he's very at one with nature. Is he human? What do you think? Is Caliban a human? Again, you might not have quite. We dropped a. There's a line that Miranda says that we have looked at, I think in the last lesson, which is a big clue. I mean, again, there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, but there is a line that Miranda says that well, it's fairly conclusive, really. Well, I don't know. Nothing conclusive, is it? It's English lit. Do you think he's human? Miranda sees Ferdinand for the first time, and Prospero's getting all up in his face. And she says, "Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The third man!" So she's living on this island with Prospero, so surely... But she's seen 3 men now, so she's seen Ferdinand, she's seen Prospero. Surely she must be talking about Caliban, right? So there's something else going on here. Caliban goes on to say to Prospero, "This island's mine by Sycorax my mother." So Sycorax was a witch, his mother. "This island's mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. You have taken my island. And here you stye me in this hard rock, this cave, whilst you do keep me from the rest of the island." Prospero says, "Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness." So in other words, hitting you, making stripes across your back is the only way to get you to do things, not being kind to you. And we get a reference as well to the fact that Caliban has attacked Miranda. And that's maybe why Prospero is being so mean to him. But it's a really uneasy relationship, isn't it? Prospero goes on to say, I'm going to give you something to do after this. "I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but would gabble like a thing most brutish." So in other words, before I got here, you didn't know anything, you were just gabbling like a brutish thing, and I taught you to speak. And Caliban says, "You taught me language, and my profit on't is, I know how to curse." So in other words, yeah, you did teach me to speak, and the only good thing about that is that now I know how to swear at you. The red plague rid you for learning me your language. Now chums. I love history, right? I mean, who doesn't love history? I have learned some stuff this week, which I can't believe I didn't know before. I can't believe I'd ever even been to see the Tempest without knowing this information. You know the film Pocahontas, right? It probably hasn't stood the test of time. I haven't seen it for years. But the Disney film Pocahontas, living in a beautiful place. Captain John Smith comes with some English people, wants to live there. They've got guns and stuff. They're bad. And I can't remember the rest of it. It's not true. But anyway, Pocahontas was a real person. Captain John Smith, real person, living in Shakespeare's time. The whole Pocahontas story is happening in Shakespeare's time. So here's a little question sheet. I say little, it took me blooming ages. Here's a question sheet for you, because I just didn't know this. We've got a timeline that we've looked at before a bit in different ways. And I've got some little flags. And this time, instead of looking at what's happening science-wise in Shakespeare's life, we're going to look at what's happening horrific history-wise. So there's a flag that says A, which is the very start of this timeline. And then a little bit later on in the 1590s, Shakespeare starts writing plays. And then in 1603, along the timeline, Elizabeth I dies. She's the Queen of England. She dies and King James takes over as being King of England. Then you've got flag B. Then you've got flag C. Then in 1609, Captain John Smith meets a chief and his daughter Pocahontas, and they give the English people food. Then you got a flag D, then a flag E, and then in 1611, Shakespeare writes The Tempest. Can you decide which of these little boxes here fits flag A, B, C, D, or E? So one of your boxes is, news reaches London that a ship taking supplies to the English people was shipwrecked. One of the boxes is, the English, led by Captain John Smith, get ill and run out of food. English people go to live in America is another box. John Smith leaves America, the English have to eat their shoes to survive is another box. They also have to eat each other and their belts. I didn't want to put that on because this is for kids. And the last box is, Queen of England Elizabeth I tells her explorers to take over other countries. So I'm going to give you a second to, I guess it's easier if you've got the printouts because you can do some scribbling, or if you're looking at the screen you can just think about it. And then I'm going to tell you some uncool history using my massive posh globe and then I'm going to do a voice of Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. So all that to look forward to and more. Please like and subscribe. How are you doing? Have you had a little think? Are you ready for me to tell you some horrendous history that I didn't know? Yeah. Has everyone got Colours of the Wind in their head? You'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue moon. Yeah, should we get going? Oh, maybe I'll put this stuff back on the shelf. Oh, beautiful little worms dropped off. Okay, well, the first one, which you probably cottoned onto, that Queen Elizabeth I had to be alive in order to tell her explorers to take over other countries. So the first one is this one. In 1584, Queen Elizabeth of England tells her explorers to occupy and enjoy other countries. Just to go back a little bit further, I found out about this bloke called John Hawkins. So John Hawkins, here's a picture of him. Here's a picture of his awful face. Sir John Hawkins he is. This is his crest. He, in 1564, no, 50, wait, do you know what's happened? I'm going to be honest. My stuff is popping up in the wrong order and it's totally messed with my jam. Here we go. This is what I wanted to say. John Hawkins set sail from England and kidnapped 300 people from Sierra Leone in 1560. Okay, 1560. So Shakespeare is 4 when this happens. If you've seen the film Encanto or Luca or the Spider-Man one about not being able to get home, those films came out 4 years ago. So it's like that for Shakespeare. You get me? Yeah? So this is pretty fresh in his head. So this guy, John Hawkins, here he is. He set sail from England. Where are we? Here's England. He sets sail down past Europe. He gets to the continent of Africa and he sails all the way to, where is it? Sierra Leone. Kidnaps 300 people from Sierra Leone. Sails with them across the Atlantic Ocean to the sort of Caribbean islands of Americas. And such a horrific way to talk about humans, but he basically he swaps them. He swaps these 300 people that he's kidnapped for animal hides and pearls and sugar, and then he sails back home. This is when Shakespeare is 4, and that's the first English person that we know of who kind of enslaves people from Africa in that way and carries them across the ocean. And this starts the very famous, enormous, lasts for ages, transatlantic slave trade. So that's happened when Shakespeare is 4, like when Encanto came out for us. And what do you think Queen Elizabeth says when he comes back? He's like, hey, I just kidnapped 300 people, sold them, I've got all this sugar and pearls. She says, brilliant, have loads of money, please do that again. So Shakespeare's 4, when this whole thing kicks off, really, of English people travelling around the world, trying to take over the places and making money out of kidnapping people. This is what, oh my God, this is his crest. It's a real honour to get a crest. Queen Elizabeth I gives him a crest, and this is an enslaved African person on top of the crest. So that's the attitude of the time. This is really something to be proud of. A little bit later on, Queen Elizabeth is dead, James is king, and English people actually go to live in America for the first time. They go to settle there and live there properly. It doesn't go well for them. They're drinking salty water, slimy water. They haven't got a clue. Captain John Smith is their leader, and they get very ill and they run out of food. Luckily for them, Captain John Smith meets a local chief and his daughter Pocahontas, and they give the English people some food and they help them. But then Captain John Smith gets injured by some gunpowder. He leaves the American settlement, and the English people have to eat their own shoes to survive, and their belts, and each other. They're kind of trapped because the local people are angry at them. And in 1610, news reaches London that the ship that was supposed to be taking them fresh supplies has been shipwrecked. And then Shakespeare writes The Tempest. I mean, I did know, I had read a lot, that the play of The Tempest had this big theme of like colonialism running through it, and this idea of people going and taking over other people's countries. But I didn't realise that it was all kicking off just as Shakespeare was starting his career. And I knew that explorers had gone off and taken over other countries, but I looked up the actual thing that Queen Elizabeth wrote, and it's just amazing. So I'm going to read it to you. This is like the piece of paper that Queen Elizabeth gave Sir Walter Raleigh, saying, yeah, it's totally fine for you to just go. Anyway, I'm going to read it to you. I've cut out loads of words because it's a very sort of legal document from the 1600s, so it's very wordy. But this is all it's all the words that she wrote down in the right order, if you know what I mean. I've just cut out loads of words to make it just make more sense to us. Here we go. So this is a piece of paper, a document that Queen Elizabeth I gives to Sir Walter Raleigh that he can show people when he gets to their lands. To all people, greeting. Know ye that we grant to our trustee and well-beloved servant Walter Raleigh free liberty to discover, search, find out and view remote, heathen and barbarous lands not inhabited by Christian people, to have, hold, occupy and enjoy. In other words, hello everyone. If you're not Christians, I've told this chap, Sir Walter Raleigh, it's totally fine for him to take over because you are heathen and barbarians. Amazing. He can just occupy and enjoy anywhere he wants, as long as you're not Christians, because, that would be bad. And further, that the said Walter Raleigh shall have, hold, occupy and enjoy all the soil of all such lands, territories and countries, and of all such cities, castles, towns, villages. I'm crying with laughter because, what? So this is presumably, that's the queen of the country. So we kind of have to imagine that the people watching The Tempest in Shakespeare's time also have these attitudes, I suppose, towards people living in other countries. The idea was, if you're not Christians, you're just barbarians. And I feel like there's quite a lot of similarities between what Prospero says to Caliban and Queen Elizabeth's language here. I took pains to make thee speak, blah, 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 when thou didst not savage know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I feel like most modern audiences, right, reading this or hearing Prospero say that to Caliban would think, well, I know what's happened, Prospero. Caliban has got a language and you arrived and you just didn't understand his language. So to you, he was just gabbling like a brute. But I'm sure to Caliban, he was making perfect sense. And yeah, we definitely wouldn't call people who just happen to speak other languages and have different beliefs savages these days. But obviously in those days, this was a totally reasonable thing to think, I guess. Right, whew. Shall we move on? You can, for our last activity, what you need to do, I said to bring like A4 paper and maybe a cereal box and some sellotape and some scissors. All you really need to do is have a piece of paper that is sticking upwards. That's all you need to do. We're going to make a rainbow for the very last bit of the lesson. And this is just going to be the screen that we project our rainbow onto. So I'm just going to cheat because I've got a whiteboard here, which is magnetic. So I'm just going to put my piece of paper on my whiteboard like that. Sorry, if you haven't got a whiteboard that is magnetic, or you're not allowed to stick stuff to your walls, you've got a bit more work to do. Can you stick a piece of white paper to a cereal box, basically? And we'll finish off with the character of Caliban. So, Act 2, Scene 2, yeah, Caliban meets some other people from the ship. He comes on complaining about Prospero's spirits and how much they torment him. It's a great speech. He's kind of talking to the audience in a very poetic way about how, yeah, Prospero's always picking on at him, and Prospero's spirits are everywhere and they're watching what he does. Trinculo, who's a jester from the ship, comes on, and Caliban says, "Lo now, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly, I'll fall flat." So in other words, oh no, there's another spirit coming. I'll just jump down on the floor, cover myself up in my clothes, and hopefully it'll go away. So that's what he does. Trinculo, there's still a storm going on, so Trinculo's looking for somewhere to shelter. He thinks that Caliban is an islander who is dead, so he shelters underneath him. You know, like you do. And then another character called Stefano comes on. He's found a load of wine. He's a butler. So these are quite sort of low-class characters. He's drunk and he's singing. And anyway, he finds the two of them and it's lots of hilarity ensues, basically. This is our comedy relief. And the three of them decide to kill Prospero. Caliban says, "Hey, there's this magical guy on this island. He treats me horribly. He's got this beautiful daughter. Why don't you kill him? And then you can marry the beautiful daughter and be king of the island and I'll be free." And they're like, yeah, great idea. So they hatch this plan. And Caliban says, it's hard to imagine that, you know, Shakespeare wasn't trying to portray Caliban as this. But he was. I mean, he's a very intelligent... Anyway, he says, "Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am. Nor hath not one spirit to command, they all do hate him as rootedly as I." So, in other words, Caliban's saying, you've got to get Prospero's books off him, because if he hasn't got his books, he's exactly the same as me. Oh, guys, deepness. And none of the spirits on this island are actually wanting to do what he says. So he's only controlling really by power of his magic. So just get rid of the books and you'll get rid of Prospero easily. And they go and try and kill Prospero, but they get horribly distracted, or at least Trinculo and Stefano do, the jester and the butler do. They're on their way to kill Prospero and make these dreams come true when they find some lovely clothes, basically. Trinculo says, "Oh, worthy Stefano, look what a wardrobe is here for thee." And Caliban says, "Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash." Stefano says, "Put off that gown, Trinculo. By my hand, I'll have that gown." They just start arguing over these beautiful clothes, and Caliban stood there going, "What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first." Like, guys, can we have some focus here, please? Can we just kill the evil, all-powerful wizard before we start playing with the clothes? So coming back to this little tick box activity we did, what are you expecting Caliban to be like? He definitely speaks in poetry a lot. He's got some of the most beautiful poetry in the play. He has a deep appreciation for nature. I would say he's a very careful person as well. He's certainly far more careful than some of the other kind of human characters in the play. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether he's funny or scary or both. Really, the only thing to do is to go and see a production of The Tempest and see what they've done with it. Yes, we will leave it at that. Let's look, finally... Let's make a rainbow and look at the very, well, it's not the last bit. It sort of feels like the last speech. It's certainly one of Shakespeare's most famous lines. We're going to make a rainbow because we need to talk about what stuff is made of. So what you need to do is have a piece of white paper facing upwards. And you need, it's best if it's a wine glass of water, but try it with any glass. Just put it in front of the white piece of paper, like that. So this is the setup that you need. And you need a mobile phone torch. I'm sorry, some of you will be watching this on your mobile phone, so that's going to be awkward. You're going to have to do it afterwards. But this is the setup that you need to make a rainbow, okay? So we talked last week about how Miranda and Ferdinand, finally, you know, they're allowed to get married. She's 15, she's only seen 2 men before, but it's going to be great. They're going to live happily forever and ever. And they have this big party mask thing to celebrate. Basically a play. The spirits of the island come, sing some nice songs. Quite a lot of it often gets cut in production, so you go and see. But the spirits, they come, they play some music, they put on a mask, a show, they dance, they sing. It's a play, okay? And then Prospero suddenly remembers that he's going to be murdered by Caliban and Trinculo and Stefano, and he needs to go and sort it out. So he turns to Ferdinand and basically says, we've got to stop this play now, because I've got to go. And this is what he says. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. This is Shakespeare inventing the phrase thin air, by the way. So in other words, the play is over. The actors were just spirits and now they've melted into the air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, so baseless, like this kind of vision wasn't really here. Just like that, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. So, in other words, the play and the spirits have all just kind of dissolved into the air. And in the same way, gorgeous palaces and solemn temples, the great globe itself, does he mean the earth, or does he mean the globe as in Shakespeare's globe, where most of his plays were put on? Maybe both. They're also going to dissolve and fade away and not leave anything behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. So I was thinking a lot about that for this lesson. We are such stuff as dreams are made on. It often gets misquoted as we are such stuff as dreams are made of, but it means the same thing. And I was like, are we made of the same stuff that dreams are made of? Well, humans are made of particles, right? You probably know everything in the whole universe is made of atoms, little particles, and that's what humans are made of. So there's quite a lot of science in here, right? Like buildings eventually will decay, and the atoms that are in the buildings will all kind of break apart and go into the air and go into the soil. Just like humans, when they die, their atoms will break apart and will go into the soil or the leaves of the trees, or, you know, go into the air. Some of our particles might become the rings of Saturn or something. So yes, nothing lasts forever. Everything dissolves. This is definitely a man who is writing his last play. This is a man who is getting older and thinking about, what is it all for? Let's make a rainbow and think about what things are made of and things that you can touch and things that you can't touch. So you need a mobile phone torch. There we go. This was my activity that I did in my very, 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 very first lesson. I was absolutely terrified. My first live stream lesson. It took me ages to work this out. You've got to put a mobile phone torch facing upwards in front of a glass of water, quite far away. See? White piece of paper, wine glass of water, mobile phone torch, and then you just slowly push the torch towards the glass and see what happens. You ready? One so much. I made this up, you know. This is going in my book that I'm going to write. Oh, can you see that? Oh, I love it. Should we go in closer? So if you keep pushing, eventually you'll get a rainbow appearing. Look at that. And you can wiggle it around a bit, move the torch closer or further away. Oh, wow, we've got a double one. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I thought, I think a rainbow is quite a good model for what we're talking about here to end our series of lessons on the Tempest. Oh, that's so nice. Shall I try the big glass? I find that the small glass works better, but if you've got different glasses in your house, have a little experiment. I'm just doing the same thing again, right? Push it slowly towards. Oh, so lovely. There it is. It's even the right shape. Okay, because I thought, well, a rainbow. What is a rainbow? A rainbow, so white light is made of all the colours of the rainbow, and all mixed together it looks white. But when it travels through glass and water, the lights they bend by different amounts, basically, so they all spread out, and you can see them all split up. So that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue light, but you can't see it until they all spread out. So I thought, well, that's kind of a bit similar to what Shakespeare was talking about, because you need particles to make that happen, right? You need water particles and glass particles to make that happen. But you can't actually touch a rainbow. Like what, in the same way that what dreams are electrical signals in our brain, basically. When you think and do anything, all that's happening is that charged particles are moving around in your brain. So we are made of particles, so even our dreams are kind of made of particles, but they're not, are they? Like, you can't touch dreams, they're made of something else. In quite a similar way, I feel, to a rainbow. Like, yes, we are made of physical stuff, but there's also kind of something else going on. So charged particles, when they move, that's what electricity is. Electricity is just positive or negative particles moving, and when charged particles move, they produce force fields, like magnetic fields and electric field. It's a whole, I mean, there's a lot of modules of physics we could do here. But yeah, dreams are basically electricity and particles and kind of magnetism as well. And light is a particle and a wave. I don't know. I really wrap myself around in circles thinking about what he means by we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. But essentially, oops, extreme close up. But yeah, essentially this is a man writing his very last play and thinking, what does it all mean? When he talks about the actors, he's not just talking about the actors in The Tempest, is he? He's talking about his actors and his life and our life and the fact that life is short. And yeah, we're gonna end it there. So what I wanted to do with these Tempest lessons is not really make it that you can write a huge big long essay in an IGCSE about the Tempest, but just make it that when you go and see a production of the Tempest, you've got some stuff in your head to work with, right? So hopefully, I definitely feel like since we've done these lessons, I really want to see a production of The Tempest so I can see what they've done with Caliban and Miranda, and I'm going to be listening out for lines that I hadn't really thought about before, and I'm going to be looking at themes I hadn't thought about before. So hopefully that's what I wanted to happen to you as well. That's the whole point of these lessons, really. So what you have to do now is eventually go and find a production of The Tempest, or more than one, as many as you can, and just see what is being done with it. We've got 2 more Shakespeare lessons left. I'm very excited because he wrote a load of poems. He wrote loads of poems, and I've never really looked at any of them. They're very short, so we're going to look at 2 poems for the last 2 lessons. That Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, and another one about being in love. And they're so perfect for looking at the science behind them as well. So 2 more science activities with 2 more poems coming up before we break for Easter and study something else. But yes, that is the end of the lesson. I'm going to go over to my Facebook page, because whenever I'm live on YouTube, I always put a post up on Facebook saying, if you want to comment on this post, I'll read it out at the end. I should have mentioned that earlier. Sorry, yeah, because you'll have noticed there's no comments on these YouTube videos. But if you're watching live, if you go over to Facebook, I will read out some of your comments now and say hi if you've got a Facebook account. How all this works is, while I'm loading up Facebook, I'll just do my little ads, because if you're new, you might be thinking, what? How is this woman doing this for free? This is my actual job. What my job is. And I made it up myself. At the start of lockdown, I just started streaming lessons for free. And now everything's just still free because you are chipping into my wages. So the lessons are free, the printouts are free. I do a Lego story show, which is happening at 10:30 today, which is also free. It's all available on my website for watching for free. I don't have any like private Zoom groups where people pay me loads of money. It's just you lot. It's amazing that it's working. So if you go to my About section on YouTube, you get to this website called Coffee, and you can send me £5 a month towards my wages. And that is literally the only way that I make money, is because people are choosing to do that, which is ridiculous and awesome. And I send you nice things in the post to say, thank you so much for making this my job, because clearly it's the best job ever. So if you sign up to support me with £5 a month, you've got to, go to my About section on YouTube, or if you're on my Facebook page, you can click the little button that says sign up as well. I post you some rainbow glasses, actually, that make you see rainbows. They're awesome. So they split all the white light in the room into different colours of the rainbow. I send you a sheet I wrote about how they work, and I'll send you Theatre of Science magazine. It's just taken me forever to write it, but the new one is coming out, I'm going to say soon. In fact, I'm going to say very soon. So if you sign up to support me, I will send you a past magazine through the post that you can read now. And then the next magazine will not be that far away. So if you sign up with £5 a month, you get the Mouldish with magazine, which comes with a free home compostable plastic bag, so that you can grow some mould, like look at all the different kinds of mould that you grow and then compost it in an eco-friendly way. It's got a beautiful comic about the discovery of penicillin. It's got a choose your own adventure. It's got lots of information about the fungus. And if you sign up with £6 a month, I know, you can sign up with like £1 billion a month if you like, but £6 will get you this past magazine as well on sleep. It comes with a little bag of organic lavender and some material so you can sew a little sleep squish, and it's got another choose your own adventure and a beautiful comic, and it's got an origami koala as well. Yes, and then you'll be on the list to receive the next Theatre Science magazine when it comes out. Right, so if you are supporting me, I feel really awful about how long I've been working on this magazine. I've basically written a book. The next magazine is a book about spies. It is literally as thick as the magazine can possibly be without falling apart. Yeah, and it's all about spies. So I'm going to send you a little wax cube so that you can seal an envelope in the same way that Mary Queen of Scots would have sealed an envelope. And it's got a little jigsaw in it about who James Bond was. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I love this bit where I just get to edit. I'm not writing anything new. I'm just moving words around on a screen at this point before it goes to the printer. Right. Oh, hello, Amber. It's my friend Maya's first time watching today. No, this was an epic one to watch for the first one. Maya, I hope you're okay. Hello. Oh, Amber, thanks for bringing a friend. Nice. I liked the spoon activity. She claimed it was spoon abuse. Yes, welcome to the Science Alliance. Yes, anyone who's worrying about the welfare of spoons, it totally belongs with us, don't they? I'm really enjoying the Tempest. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think this is my favourite lesson, actually, I have to say. Hello, Agnes. This is our dog, Ash. All right, we'll come back to Ash. Hey, Jancy. Oh, Jay and Daniel and Daisy are watching on catch up today, but wanted to share. What? You've bought a pitcher plant? You've bought a pitcher plant? Oh my! Where is my pitcher plant? Oh, it's here. Yeah, people have been asking me about the health. We did a Lego story show about carnivorous plants quite recently, and I bought a pitcher plant and I brought it up here to show you. Oh, why has that gone black? It's looking pretty good. I thought it was looking good. It is looking good. So you've got one as well now, Jancy. That's exciting. Let's open that in a new tab. It's in the bathroom. That's a good place for pitcher plants to be. It's nice and warm and wet. I cut off 2 or 3 old dried pictures, but there were 4 new shoots with new ones. Oh, hello, Abba. She's watching while surrounded by boxes. You're moving house on Monday. OMG.com/wow. Good luck with the move. Oh, I actually like moving. I love it. I find it really exciting, but not everybody does. Hello, Aurelia. Aurelia's never done the spoon activity before. Yes, Aurelia. I can't believe I got to show you a new activity. Oh, but Elizabeth deafened her because he hit the spoon too hard. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. Sorry. Henry's here. Hope you had a good morning. Just want to mention that in the world that my dragon drawings are from, I have created a mountain range called the Caliban Mountains. No! Before these lessons, or since doing these lessons, Cold Drake down below, though next week I will start showing my elder ones. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, whoa. Henry, this is a lot of information. Henry's sent another picture of an exquisite dragon, and the Caliban Mountains are in that dragon world, but also you've just finished watching Jurassic Park. Not for the first time. I am not chatting to you just after you finish watching Jurassic Park for the first time. Oh, Henry, this is just a moment, you know? It's just a moment in your life that you never get back. I hope you're really appreciating it. Oh, to see Jurassic Park again for the first time. Oh, what a wonderful world. There's a new one coming out, isn't it, this year? So I do get to see a Jurassic Park film for the first time this year. Hello, Laurie. Excited for this lesson? Oh, that's nice. Hi, Miss Laura. Oh, that's nice. You're watching 2 lessons at once. What? Zaza's watching on Facebook and on YouTube. That's weird. That'd be quite interesting to watch the same lesson on Facebook and YouTube, because I film them twice and see if they keep up with each other and when I go off on one. That would actually be interesting. Hello, Lauren. We'll be watching Lego Story Show too. Yes. Lauren, Lego Story Show is an absolute mess today. I need to go and you've reminded me that it's on in 32 minutes and there's just bits of stuff everywhere. I need to go and clear it up. There's Laurie. Hello, Laurie. Hello, Mark, Talitha and Simon. Looking forward to our rainbow glasses. Ah, that's nice. Oh, that's lovely. I don't know if they've been posted off yet. Oh, that's so lovely. I'm just thinking if the 3 of you, I don't want to get your hopes up, but if they haven't been posted off, I should send you some I tell you what, can you message me? Because it looks like you need more than one pair of rainbow glasses. They're like, I don't want to send small paper items that 3 or 4 people have to share. Can you message me on Coffee if you've signed up, and I'll try and put some more in the envelope for you. Hello, Maya and Thea. Maya, I got stuck on your name then because I thought it might be Mia. I'm going, I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm just useless, aren't I? I mean, for goodness sake, you think I'd know by now, Maya. Hello, Imogen and Ophelia. Hello, Freya and Hannah say hello. Well, hello, Freya and Hannah. Hello. Oh, Grace and Hope are here. Hey, hello, Grace and Hope. Loving the lessons as always. Oh, you lot with your beautiful pictures that you show me. Hello, Edward and Annabelle and Evelyn. I've reached peak excited voice with you. I'm gonna have to just chill the heck out again. Hello, Ruby and Oscar. See, I'm doing excited voice again. It's hard not to. Ruby and Oscar are here. Flynn's watching. Hello, Flynn. It's been alright science week for you, hasn't it? Oh, here we go. Edmund thinks... Sorry, I know Edmund. I feel like I know Edmund quite well now. Oh, here we go. Right, Edmund. Edmund thinks dreams are made of electricity and particles because how the neurons in the brain work. They send both electrical and chemical messages. Dude, yes. He has made a multiple rainbow. Wait, what? How have you done that? What's that about? You've got a double... Oh, because your torch has 3 little bulbs inside. I see. Yeah, of course. You've got one of those LED bulbs that's got 3... Nice. That's cool. All right, I'm going to look at these photos in a sec. Hello, Lily and Jacob. Hello. Hello, Edith. Hello, you. Oh, also, if you want to read some of my lore, then the link is... Oh, come on. What? Okay, a link to Henry's lore. That's great. We're keeping that. Oh, it's Shuki and Arthur and Eunice and Salah and Ruther. I need a theme tune for you lot. They're the one who made me this amazing t-shirt. Theatre Science Magazine. Coming soon. Maybe. But it actually, I think it is. It's going to the printer soon. It is. I don't know why I'm getting all angry with you. It is, okay? It is. Let's have a look at these photos. Oh, poof. Here's Ash. Just Ash like just socking me in the face with its cuteness. There you go. That is cute. What's the next one? Oh yeah, the pitcher plant. Oh, that's not. Oh, I think you've got a different one, haven't you? Oh look, yours are all. Oh, I like that. Yeah, yours are all. What's the technical biology word for that? Speckly. I'm going to say speckly. Oh, it's cute. Nice one. Oh, another one of Henry's. I absolutely love how much effort Henry puts into his dragons compared to how much effort he puts into his people. Oh, just stick a human for scale. Cold Drake. What's that? 8 to 9 meters. The cold drake is the largest genus of drake and lives mostly in the mountains. And that's the Caliban Mountains, is it? Can't breathe fire, icy cold breath. Oh, that freezes its prey. Nice! What? I've never heard of this. An eerie fog around its lair. Holy smokes. Do you like what I did there? God, do you know what? I love the words as much as I love the pictures. They're brilliant. Thank you. I'm really loving these. I'm very much looking forward to the next instalment. And there's Edmund's triple rainbow. Pretty jealous. That's very good. That's very spooky. Very spooky. And, oh yeah, the lore as well. The whole word of the lore. So if you're in the comment section of my Facebook page at the moment, you too can read Henry's lore. Oh my goodness, here it is. Here it is. Yes. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a book in a few years' time. And we're all gonna come to it first. This is great. Okay, amazing. Right, I will leave that there for after Lego Story Show. All right, you lot. I'll do a quick refresh because I know it's super annoying when you just find out that the Facebook posts are a thing and then I leave and then you're like, hello. Oh, she's gone. But then I have to go and clean up my sprinkles because we're doing a Lego Story Show about chocolate in 27 minutes time. And yeah, I've got to set up everything up again. So if you don't know what Lego Story Show is, I would say it's a bit less formal than these. The lessons aren't terribly formal, are they? But there's no printouts for the Lego Story Show. It's just a chat about a thing that I learned about this week, and we do an activity, and I tell you a story with Lego at the end, and that's what's happening. Right, I'm going to try and get the newest comments up. Facebook's always a bit weird with not showing me the newest comments. Dexy made rainbow! Yes, look at that! Oh, and here's Bella, hello! Right, I'll just close some of these tabs. What is that? Oh yeah! Dexy's got a rainbow under the sea. Oh, I like that. That's very appropriate, actually. Rainbow under the sea because the Tempest. Wow, that's really cool. How have you done that? You've got all the colours. All the colours of the... Sorry, I'll stop. You can paint with all the... Should have made that a thing. Question from Bella. Why do I sometimes dream the future? Once I dreamt of my best friend doing something, then she did it the next day. Why? Oh, Bella. That's quite easy. That's because you're a witch. Congratulations. Hello, Jacob. I do not think, therefore I do not am. Hi, joined at the end as I had another class. Oh, you just slipped right in, Jacob, haven't you? You've just fit right in as you always do. I do not think, therefore I do not am. Yeah. Yeah. Au revoir, Lara. This lesson was really good. Au revoir, Laurie. À bientôt. Tout le monde. Don't worry, I have already watched it. Oh, you've already seen it. Oh, Henry. Okay, right. We're not living through Henry's I just watched Jurassic Park first time moment. All right, fine. Hello, Edward and Annabelle and Evelyn. All right. I already said hello to you. Hello. Hiya. And there's Mark again, and Talitha and Simon, and the Law, Lily and Jacob. Brilliant. Have we done it? Is that everyone? That didn't feel like it was everyone. There's Lauren. Yeah. Edith. Hello. Abba's here. Flynn. Imogen Ophelia. Edmund. Yeah. With the rainbow. Laurie. I think that's everyone. Picture Plan. Hi. Oh, there's Dexy saying hello. And Ruby and Oscar are there. Grace and Hope. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Okay. Right. Well, good. I'm going to go then and set up the Lego story, and I will see some of you in 25 minutes time for the Science of Chocolate here on YouTube. While I'm away, you could always be signing up to get me magazines and to get the latest magazine when it comes out and to get the rainbow glasses, without which it would not be possible for me to do this job. Thank you so much for going to my About section and signing up. Thank you for all your lovely likes and your comments. I will see you very soon. Bye!